into the Hall of Fame in anything that you do, you're going to fall many times. Trust me, I have fallen many times. I got the bruises on my knees and my elbows to say so. But in that, it takes a very unique ability to not take no for an answer. I know that you've been through basic training, sir. I know that you have been through hardships in your life. But what you and your family have done for our country in putting your lives forward, right? If I lose a tennis match, no problem, I'm coming back next week. But in the Army, Navy and Air Force, you can't lose. You don't have that option.
But you know, interestingly, so much of what you just said is echoed by Mr. Nada in his life and his work. And I recall that just a couple of months ago, he was in the Shiv Nada School in Chennai, and our oldest class is class 4. And the children asked Mr. Nada in the class, what does it mean? How do you become a successful businessman and philanthropist? And Mr. Nada answered this to all of us in the simplest way you can answer to a 9-year-old: hard work. So that's exactly what you sort of said, the resilience that you need. We'll just go back a little bit chronologically, so for some of us to be familiar with Lee and his background. It's incredible that, you know, this is another question we always have, that your parents, both of them, were champions. Your father played for India in 1972 in the Olympics, hockey, and your mother was a basketball player, 1980 captain of the Indian team. So how much does that genetically go to the progeny, or is it something?
The Barcelona coach, I said, as a good Indian boy, I told him I have to go home and ask my parents. So I came home, and the coach told me on the way out, when I packed all my bags, I said, how do you know I'm not coming back? He said, because your room is spotless. If anyone was coming back, they would leave something here. He said, if you are going back now and you decide not to come back to FC Barcelona, give up football. Because we are the #1 football team in the world. And if you've said no to us, no other academy will you get to take home is Poitchester. So my dad said, what's this? I said, it's Wimbledon trophy. He said, it's all well and good you won Wimbledon, but you can sit on the dining table with me when you win an Olympic medal. I said, okay. So my first Olympics was in Barcelona. I had to go to Osaka, Japan to qualify. It was a wet season. It was the monsoon season in Osaka, Japan. We had to play on clay courts. So I took a French tennis coach.
You were 19.
I was 19. I'm quite amazed at the homework you've done.
I followed you from the time you were 12, 10.
I'm a little nervous. I've got to tell all of you that Colonel G has a twin brother, and there's a standard conversation that goes on with these two brothers of who knows more statistics of Roger Federer and Leander Paes. And yesterday, last night, Colonel got the upper hand because I gave him a little stat. I cheated a little bit. I gave him a little stat on Leander Paes. I know a little about him. So I gave him a little stat on Leander Paes that his twin brother didn't know. And that stat was?
That stat is that Leander versus Sampras. Leander versus Sampras, head to head. Everyone knows Sampras, 14 Grand Slam titles, singles, Wimbledon, legend. You know what's a head to head with Leander and Pete Sampras? 4-0 Leander. So I also didn't believe that. So I said, how did it be 4-0? He said, I've beaten in the only singles game I played, 6-2, 6-4, and I've been in 3 times in doubles. So, wow, fantastic. So, tell us, Barcelona.
So I went to Osaka and I